How often do you think of the families of Fortune 10 companies and what they could possibly spend all of their money on? Well, one of America's richest families is the Walton family. Sam Walton founded Walmart in 1962 and is now the world's largest retailer with yearly sales of over $500 billion. Walton's descendants have a combined worth of $163.2 billion. One thing that may seem surprising is that in public, the Waltons live a fairly modest life. There are 4 children of the Walmart founder, and they co-own the Walton Enterprise, which is the largest shareholder of the company. Even though they co-own shares, only Rob Walton sits on the board of the company. James sat on the board until 2016, before he was replaced by his son Stuart. The youngest of Sam's children, Alice, never took an interest in being a part of the business, but rather took an interest in the arts. Rob Walton has a house in Paradise Valley, Arizona. He also has a large collection of vintage cars. He wrecked one in 2013, a Daytona Coupe, one of 5 cars ever made, worth $15 million. Because of Rob's place in the Walmart company, his home has been the site of many protests for workers' rights and fair wages.
Earned that spot already from him.
I think it's a turnover. Part of it's a turnover, part of it.
John Walton tragically died in a plane crash in 2005 at the age of 58. John left 17% of his wealth to his wife and son. The rest of his fortune was given to charity.
Read it as an ancient document, which it is. And so those...
James, also known as Jim Walton, is the youngest son. His own net worth is $42.1 billion. He is chairman of the board of the family's Arvis Bank. The assets in total added up to more than $18 billion. He too was on the Walmart board until 2016, when his son Stuart took over.
Offered a different and in many cases higher quality education in low-income areas.
The youngest sibling, Alice Walton, is worth $40.4 billion. She has been divorced twice and has no children. From a young age, Alice loved the arts, so she has become a patron of the arts. She has an immense private collection, including original works from Andy Warhol and Georgia O'Keeffe. In 2011, Alice opened a museum called Crystal Bridges to house her $500 million art collection. At the time of opening, her museum had 4 times the endowment of the New York Whitney Museum. In 2014, she spent $44.4 million for a Georgia O'Keeffe painting. She is also a horse breeder and recently sold her ranch in Texas. Though the purchasing price was undisclosed, the asking price was $19.75 million. Alice also owns a 2-floor condo in New York that she bought for $25 million in 2014. In 2016, she donated $225 million to the family's nonprofit charity foundation. With all of the children still owning shares every time the company has a good quarter, they make millions of dollars in dividends. In the most recent quarterly results, the company's shares jumped more than 10% after sales increased, which is not surprising seeing as Walmart was one of the few stores permitted to remain open during the global lockdown. While the Watson family was famously frugal, living modestly, after the death of Sam, the children each spent their money in their own unique ways, from expensive weddings with over $1 million budgets to artwork. But one thing that no matter which of the heirs you look at, they have all donated a lot of their fortunes to charity. And with the endless supply of funds that come rolling in as quickly as Walmart money does, charity is a great way for them to give back. What do you think of the shocking way the Walton family spends their fortune? Don't forget to like and subscribe to iMillionaire for all of your luxury needs.